daughter?
So in particular in LinkedIn.
Okay, is that brick and mortar companies?
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah. Okay, well, we'll get cracking because it's a Christmas week and I don't want to, I'm not going to sort of let this rattle on for hours like I do on my course. Okay. So the most important thing in 2022, we've seen a big change in Facebook. My speciality is Facebook rather than LinkedIn. That's where I run all my ads for myself and my clients and Google ads. But you may have know the impact of ISO 14. We know the coaching space is absolutely so competitive now. There's so many coaches coming on board. We've never seen it's so competitive. So to really get seen online, we have to be really, really tactical. So a lot of my clients, I mean, there's one lady I'm working with, she is a trauma coach, because you mentioned trauma. So when we look at her message, she's very general, like teaching people how to sort of deal with trauma and have a compelling future. So my objection to her was, well, you can go through trauma if you had an operation, if you had a car accident, if you've lost a husband or a spouse or a child, you've lost your job. So who do you help? And then when she says compelling future, it's like, well, what is a compelling future? So when we go online now, we're not Tony Robbins. We cannot appeal to the masses, or else we'll be treading water for a long, long time. So we have to be really specific, especially coming into 2022. And I'll show you some examples, who we serve, who we serve, and what result we are going to give them. And I know we can help everybody do everything, but if we try to do that online, it really will kind of fall flat on his face. The exception is if somebody's, say somebody's doing tarot cards or spiritual healing or their emotional intelligence, that in itself is a niche. The subject itself is the niche. So you can be broader with your client base, but we have to niche down. Maybe over time we can sort of expand it out, a bit like Tony Robbins. But, you know, when we start out, you've got like 4 seconds, 5 seconds for somebody to stop the scroll, especially when we're running ads and putting money on the table. So an example is just my husband, for instance, you know, Stephen, he is a sober coach. So we have gone through the process of who does he actually serve? Now, this is a great example for you guys, because who does he really serve? Because you've got those drinkers that go on a Friday night, every Friday, binge drinking, hangover, the weekend's gone, but they've not lost they haven't got a constraint order, or that they're not allowed, they're allowed to still see the kids, the wife's still there, or the husband's still there. They've not lost the job. But then you've got the more serious cases where they're drinking all the time, literally suicidal, don't know how to get out of it. The wife's left them, the kids aren't allowed to see them anymore. And those sort of people need help. And then the way I liken it is, if somebody goes to jail, they're going to spend $8,000 trying to get out of bail. I use dollars because all my clients, most of them are American. So they're going to spend $8,000. So actually getting out of bail, it's actually better than the situation they're in. So there's different sub-niches within niches. So you have to even think, well, what is my sub-niche within that niche? Another client of mine, I want to really hone this, because this is the most important thing. The most, if anything you take away tonight, this is the most important thing. That another client of mine, she burnt out. She was a headmistress. So we had to define who was her market. Is it the people that are just approaching burnout, the people who really are on the brink and don't even know it? Or is it the people who have actually burnt out and they're lying in bed and they can't get up in the morning? They just cannot function. She had to take a whole year off. So within your niche, you have to define what is your niche. Now, once you've really defined that, go to the market. Like, even if you're doing the brick and mortar, I specialize in construction because Stephen ran a construction business. So I tended to get into construction. I became known as a go-to person to get leads for construction. And I still run ads for that. I still run and get leads for business. So also you need to talk their lingo. So quite often we've reached the top of our journey. We've kind of we've reached the mountaintop, but your clients haven't, and we forget how it feels at the start. So I find a really good little tool. No, I was finding it, isn't it? So here it is. I've got it on my 1 second. I took my daughter to the cinema rather than doing this today. Right, you are.
You're a bit like me then. You're getting caught up with the family.
I did. I thought, what's more important?
Yeah.
I need to take.
Yeah.
Right, here we are. So when we look at, our niche and talking their language, a great tool is Amazon. So this is part of my course.
Oh.
A great tool is Amazon. So just say you go onto Amazon. This is part of my course, actually, week 1. And you put in a really well-known book that's got loads of reviews. Go and look at what the people are saying about the book, because it gives you an idea of the language they're talking. Like, so with this particular instance, I put in a book, it's things I wish I knew before my mum died. It was a relationship coach. We looked at all the reviews and pulled out some of the stuff that the reviews are saying to give you the language to use in your copy, in your emails, on your posts. Language like, without sending me spiraling into sadness on my good days, good bit of copy. Unexpected and sudden, I still don't know how to have the strength to keep going. So things like that, you need to talk their language, especially now in, shall we get back to that? Especially now back in, into 2022, when things are a little bit more competitive, to say the least. Right, I'll get back to my slide. Hang on a second. So that's the first thing. So the second thing is your offer and your result. You cannot go into the market with vague offers and vague results. We're known fact that most people now fail online because their offer isn't clear. It's not to do with the amount of work they do, the amount of posting they do. It's clearly people do not know what offer you've got and what result you're going to give them. You need to take your clients through a journey from start to finish, and because only 3% will be ready to buy at this time. And you've got those other, the 97 may be ready further on down the line, but you need to be following a trail, and your offer needs to be crystal clear. So I did a little bit of a kind of a sheet here. So your offers, if you could see this, I see so many people out there calling their offers confidence mastery, TikTok genius tactics, how to be successful in life, manifesting good life. It's not descriptive enough. It's not telling me who it's for. It's not telling me what result they're going to get. But if you go out into the market and use language like this, how to gain the confidence for public speaking in less than 30 days, I know exactly why I'm looking at your profile, why I'm looking at your post, your ad, how to get 30,000 followers on TikTok in 90 days, okay, using less than 15 minutes a day. We have to be specific, because there is so much noise online that and we want to reject like 95% of people. We don't want those 95. We want 5% to stop and say, I want that. I want this. Now, I was in the Google niche, and I literally, this worked a treat with my ads, how to rank in Google and get 10 times more inquiries and threshold competition in less than 30 days. So you can see the difference, can't you, between these kind of vague offers, and I see so many people with their profiles that are just really confidence coach, trauma coach. It doesn't really say anything. I would just scroll past it. Yeah. So we need to be really specific with our offers online in 2022. I keep losing my slide. Here we are. And also, I always say don't listen to the gurus, because I've been on so many courses. Between myself and my husband, we've spent £60,000 on coaching courses. And I've been on a lot of gurus, and don't get me wrong, they're really good. They're very useful, but they're not what has led me to my business taking off. Because quite often they teach you, build a complicated funnel, do that first, run ads first. Really, it's all the wrong way around. They've lost touch of what it's like to be at the very beginning. And their funnels wouldn't work for most people anyway, because they're like Russell Brunson's, they're far too complicated. He starts with a low-end offer. And believe it or not, low-end offers often don't work for coaches, because it's the slowest path to cash, offering a low-end $37 product. It's the slowest path to cash. The quickest path is offering your clients a high-end product right out the gate, because you can always downsell when you get them on the phone. But the gurus tell you, right, you need to build this, first of all, build this big funnel, right? Make it really fancy, or don't make it fancy, but make it do this, this, this. But what we're forgetting is what we've actually got in front of us already. So, we've got somebody. Yeah, so we often forget what we've got in front of us already. And that is essentially, if you've not started from scratch, if you have, you won't have what we call assets. But if you've been going a little while, you will have assets on the table. So what I mean by that is, let's have a look at that Word document. Okay. So what we do is we tend to ignore what we've built. Okay, so yes, by all means build a funnel, but it doesn't have to necessarily be the thing that brings you in clients, building this huge funnel, running ads to it. In fact, that's quite risky to start with. So you need to look at where you are now. You're all going to be in different places. You know, somebody might have an email list of 2,000. They might have, you know, they might have, say, 1,000 YouTube subscribers. You might have like 2,000 Instagram followers. You might have 1,500 Facebook friends, and they're all really engaged, and they're all in your niche. You know, you've built up your friends list, and you've got the right friends on there, and you get an interaction. If you've worked organically, because you have to work organically to get that interaction, which is another, you know, a time drainer in a way. But if it works for you, it works for you. It does for some. Facebook likes, you might have a really active Facebook page. As I say, you might have an email list. You might have a Facebook group, just so you've got 1,500 members. Or you may have nothing, but you need to see, where am I now? What have I got under my belt that I can use without having to go and build this huge funnel, this complicated funnel to start with? And you have to think to yourself, well, what do I want to achieve in 90 days? Instead of going blind and just trying to, you know, run ads, and then most people find when they run ads, the leads fall off the cliff. They do not know how to convert those leads. 90% of the times, the leads just go into this big black hole. And you think, well, what happened? What's gone wrong? Is it my offer? Is it me? It's really not. It's having the ability to fill in the black holes. And a funnel is not necessarily a big, complicated funnel built on ClickFunnels or lead pages. It can simply be bringing somebody into Messenger and then getting them to book a Calendly. And that is a funnel. It can be as simple as that, or sending one to a Word document or a Google Doc, or your website is pixeled. And that could be your funnel. It doesn't have to be. I see so many clients that come on board and they're really struggling technically with these funnels, when the answer can be simply in front of them to get clients. So you need to look at where you are now, and maybe your email list isn't opening your emails. So you need to think, why are they not opening my emails? What is it about my emails that's going wrong? But it's identifying. It's like a spider web. You've got lots of parts of this web. And it's identifying which bits are working, which is not working. And when you build the funnel, you probably know by now you've got a landing page and you opt into a case study. Then what a lot of people now, because of all these ISO 14 changes, where we can't retarget like we used to, a lot of people then on the next stage of the funnel, they're encouraging people to join their group on the next stage of the funnel, or to friend them on Facebook. So they're trying to build organically, just in case we can't retarget with Facebook anymore. So within that, then you get taken onto an application, then you get taken onto a call, a Calendly. Along that funnel, if you have built a funnel, there's lots of black holes. There's black holes that, have they opted in? Okay. If they've opted in, have they gone to the next stage? If they got to the application form, have they actually gone for the call? There's all these kind of little holes where people drop off. So it's a matter of filling in those black holes if you've gone and built your funnel. But if you haven't, I've just come up with this one today. So what you just say you had an email list. You could send a fantastic email, giving advice, taking them onto your website, and then on your website, encourage them to book a one-to-one. So just say you had an email list. You can use those assets to literally get clients today or tomorrow if you've got the assets. Now, if you haven't, I'll just go through that, you know, another scenario. But just say your open rate is 30%, you're doing pretty well. Okay, 20 is about the average, but say you got 30, you've got 667 people open that email. You could have 10 calls booked and you could have closed 2 sales without even building a funnel. So I see so many people blind to what they've got already. But not only that, when we run ads, which is my speciality, which is my baby, the first question I ask my clients is, what have you got? Have you got an email list? Have you got Instagram? Have you got Facebook likes? Have you got video views on your page? And I use that. Just so your email list is dead, just so your email list, you don't get anything from your email list, we can reactivate it with Facebook ads. So we don't have to spend a lot on Facebook ads. I'm going to really get my email list to take notice of me. You know, they're not even bloody opening them. So we can put ads in front of your email list. We can upload it. We can do retargeting ads. The first ads you need to run is to your warm audiences. It's already on your lists. You know, they could be your Facebook likes. They could be your, there's only certain ones you can do. Instagram, people who viewed your videos. So what I want to say is, like, don't go ignoring in 2020 what you got in front of you, because the first thing clients say to me is, I need to build a huge funnel. And then I find out they've got like 5,000 Instagram followers. I said, why are you not using that? You know, why don't we run an ad to your Instagram followers and then create lookalike audiences from that? And it can cost you like nothing, £5 a day. Or so I can't stress that enough that we need to look in 2022, what's in front of us. Now, if you haven't got any, I keep losing my little slide. The beauty of live stuff. Okay, so if you haven't got anything, you're going to have to do it organically, or you're going to have to run ads. Okay, so don't listen to the gurus. That great courses for content, but a lot of stuff doesn't work for the likes. They don't take somebody from where they are at this point. They assume everybody's at the same point. And I find a lot of the courses are out of date anyway. I'm on a guru's course, and the ads course is 4 years old. You know, it was good in its day, and it's still good now, but it's changed. So what you also need is a 90-day plan. If you go into your business without a plan, it really, you know, and I've always thought this is a bit of a cliche. Of course I need a plan, but for years I never made one, because I thought, oh yeah, we all know that. But really, if you've got a plan, and I have done one here. Right, so if you've got a plan, I'm going to show you a plan. Okay. Okay, so this is a 90-day plan, right? So just say, up to March, you want to get, let's see what I'm going to move. I'll keep moving my little screen. Just say, say up to March, you want to be pulling in $27,000, okay? Just say you've got a $3,000 program. That means you're going to have to get 3 clients a month. I've got a special calculator for my clients where we work backwards and we try and collapse time. We try and say, okay, this is what you want to do by March or April. Let's try and collapse time and get that sooner. So you've got $3,000 your program. So you're going to need 3 clients a month. Okay, so within month 3, you'll have 9 clients, and they're all on the 3-month sort of basis, a 3-month program. So what's the strategy to get them? How on earth are we going to get these clients? So you've got options, okay? Just say you've got a group. This is how I built my group to start with, okay? So you can make friends with people and do it the right way, message people in the right way to join your group, the right people in the right way. So I've worked out, if I did just say, this is just an example, if I was going to just get my 9 clients, I worked backwards. I said, oh, how many messages would I have to send out? Because I know about 25% of people I message join my group, because I know that, I've studied that. So I'm going to have to send out 450 messages to even get to send them a link, because I never send a link straight away. I used to, and it got up people's noses. So I never assume they're going to want a link to join my group. I ask politely. So 112 I can send a link to within that month. And then when they get to the group, I stop them at the gate and say, okay, you know, a series of questions, and would you like to book a call? And I find about 1 in 3 want a call booked. So that's 37 book calls. Okay. I'm not saying this is an exact science, because not everybody's going to turn up and not everybody's going to book it from there. It's just an example. And just say you're going to close 9. You've reached your goal, but you then need to, you know, I'm not saying 450 messages. Well, that's a lot. So how am I going to do that? So you might need to hire a VA. So you need to think of a plan. What is your assets? How are you going to get these clients? We can't just go shooting in the dark and try and post randomly on Facebook, hoping to get engagement. There's got to be a plan, whether you do sort of that option, or you could say, okay, well, I'm going to join other groups. I'm going to speak to the admin. I'm going to see if I can do a joint venture in big groups on my topic. So just imagine you managed to do two of those a week. Okay, so you did 8 a month. Just say there's 50 people on, you know, you're gonna have to get people big groups. You'd have 400 interaction, 400 people that you've been in front of, and just imagine 10% booked a call. You'd have to, and you managed to close 1 in 4. I think you know where I'm going with this, don't you? It's literally looking at a plan. Now, paid advertising is one of my babies. Okay, so I know I'm happy to spend money, and I literally switched to the coaching niche back in last year, but I've had 2 operations, lots happened in between. So I'm now getting all my ads ready because this is my baby and I know it works for me. But if your thing is posting organically and trying to get engagement, just be aware it's time. But I know that if I can get $5 leads and I put in £5,000 or dollars, I could possibly get 1,000 leads within that month. 5% may book a call, and I've got my 10 sales. Okay, so you need to like think of a plan for you. That's what I mean by 90-day plan. I don't mean, oh, my vision board, I'm going to get like 30,000 in March and I'm just going to hope for the best. We don't hope for the best. It doesn't work. We need to have a plan, and we need to monitor it after 3 months and stick to that plan. And if it hasn't worked, you go back and say, why didn't it work? What happened? Am I not hitting these targets here? And if it's not worked, you improve, you change tactics, because quite often things don't work on the first occasion, which is life. That is life. So that's why I be about a 90-day plan, not some kind of vague idea that you want to get 30,000 or whatever by March. A defined plan that's really, you know, nailed to the bone. Okay, so the other thing is I see a lot of coaches wanting to start at sort of $7, then do $37, and then $1,997. The honest truth is the fastest path to sales through the door is offering a high ticket from the outset. Now, you obviously have to close for that. You have to close. Now, if you find that somebody's really not biting, you can always downsell on the call. So, okay, I really get that you're not going to invest that amount of money, and I get why. You then downsell and say, well, how about join my sort of lower end program? Because they're going to climb up again when they trust you on the lower end scale. So a lot of people think, well, I'll do $37, but then how can you guarantee they're going to upsell anyway? Unless you've got a proven system, unless you know your upsells work. One client of mine, he started at $37. He was adamant that people were going to upsell into his programs. He spent a shit ton of money on ads, hugely, which was before I became a client of mine, hugely confident they were going to upsell, and nobody upsold. So he burnt his fingers because he couldn't then reinvest anything in his money, in his business. So now he offers a higher end program, and he's got to get on the phone for it, but then he downsells when he needs to. Because his upsell offers become sort of his signature offer, his signature program. Okay, number 6. Yeah, organic's great. I use it myself, okay, but I do not rely on it 100% unless you see the people who've got huge engagement on their pages, on their personal profile, in the groups. I find it's changed. Facebook has taken away a lot of that engagement. They'll only show little pockets, your posts, and if it doesn't quite catch on, it will just stop showing it to everybody else. And it's changed because it wants us to use ads. So unless you've got a VA, 3 VAs behind the scenes, liking and commenting on everybody else, your friends' posts, constantly in the background working, logging into your account and getting that engagement for you. And even then it's a fine art, because you're not supposed to do this, you're not supposed to scroll too quickly, and you're not supposed to cut and paste. Facebook knows everything. It's quite a hard thing to get engagement, especially these days. So yes, I use it, and yes, it's got me clients, but I say use organic. You may be somebody out there who's got huge engagement, so that's a different story. But the majority of people do not have masses of engagement unless they're using a VA to get that. Or, believe it or not, are groups out there that you can join. I was gobsmacked when I learned this about a year ago. You may know this already, but there's groups out there you can join. You pay your money and you all support each other's posts. So even those ones appearing popular may not even be popular. It's just they've joined a group that they've paid and they're all kind of supporting each other, and it looks slightly popular. My view was, why on earth do that? Because then none of them are going to be your ideal client. Having said that, you're going to get people out there that are awesome at organic marketing, and they literally smash it because that's what they specialize in. They've got VAs, their engagement's spot on, they get clients only that way. But that, my way is, I don't want to spend money on a huge, I've got my VA, but I don't want them to sit down, trying to get my engagement up. I would rather use ads, because I can get my results really quickly. I can know what works really quickly. I don't have to spend a fortune. I can use budget ads. I can test my message. I can test my market, and I can literally get the answers within 7 days. So I think, well, why waste all that time? I'm not into that road at all. Yes, I'll use it. You need to use it to test your market. You can make mistakes organically. You can stumble, you can fall, you can do what you like, because there's no money on the table. So that's the view for going forward in 2022. A lot of people think ads are really expensive, but they don't have to be at all. Some of my clients' ads at the moment, we're running 3 ad sets, £5, in fact $5 a day on each ad set. We're spending $15 a day. We've run them for 10 days so far. She's a new client, and we've got all the feedback we need. What's resonated, what hasn't, what she can scale up on. Let's dump that, that didn't work. Those headings worked. So it's really great to get testing out there. And we're running a business after all. And anybody who's not willing to invest in a coach or invest in like things like ads, or, you know, the profit margin in coaching is huge compared to a brick and mortar business. So my view is, if you really can't invest, you shouldn't be in it to start with, because you ain't going anywhere. Because if people who try to do it on a budget, try to do everything for free, try and learn everything for free, don't have a coach, they really 100% will go nowhere. I've still got 2 coaches now, and I always will have. The seventh thing, I mean, myself personally, I used to be very much a long copy person. It really worked for me, and it's worked for my brick and mortar, it's worked for my coaches, but I'm starting to switch more to video. There's a really good reason for that, and that is because the pixel, we may not even have a pixel next year. We may not be able to pixel people. And for those of you who don't know what that means, I'm sure Philip will if he's into marketing. I'm not sure.
I don't.
Okay, so what it is, Facebook, you're allowed to put a little pixel on your websites, on your funnels. Anybody lands on that website or on that opt-in page or on your thank you page, Facebook knows exactly. You set up certain things for Facebook, and it says, all right, that person has visited, and you build audiences. So a lot of marketers have relied on the pixel to follow people. So there's people, it looks like you've been stalked or on the internet. You've just looked at a holiday, and then suddenly they're following you around the internet. That may not even exist next year. That pixel may be taken away because of ISO 14. So we've had to be shit clever on how we're going to overcome this. And I noticed my lead agency fall off a cliff around June this year, when my cost per lead was going through the roof. I couldn't pull some of my clients back. I lost them. I lost a few of my clients because I had to work bloody quickly trying to work out what is going on here. So I'm in groups, master groups for Facebook ads, and I pulled it back, but I've lost out of it because of ISO 14. So video is becoming a really important way to go, because we can run what we call certain campaigns within Facebook where we create video. They're more compelling anyway. People watch them more, but we can create audiences around video. We put them on our Facebook page. We can upload them to our ads. We can use them in our ads, and we can use like lovely banners. Facebook's allowed us to use banners again. It's allowed us to use text, because it's been slapped in the arse this year with ISO 14 and its argument with Apple. But if we use video, we can use that to build audiences for our niches. So, and also just to go, like, definitely use organic, but your ads are really just organic with money on it. So just a few examples here. This was an organic post, and I was just offering a cheat sheet so people can download. It's a video. Sorry about the face. It looks like I'm having a stroke or something there, but giving value away on your post, like download. What's some crucial thing you need? Comment below, and I'll give you a cheat sheet. Encouraging people to interact with you, get them into Messenger. Okay, but if I just put that into an ad, okay, this is just an ad I'm running at the moment. No, actually, I'm setting them live tomorrow. This will be a video ad, and you can put banners on now. There's a special bits of software. You know, you can put the captions on again. You know, just knowing how to do this stuff. getting people to stop the scroll. And I won't even have a call to action on that. I won't even send it to a landing page. Okay, all people are going to do is comment below, bring them into Messenger. So you don't even need a funnel. You know, you can run a simple ad. You can literally run a very straightforward ad for £5 a day. If you've got 15, you can test them against each other, bring them into Messenger, and lo and behold, you've got a conversation with somebody. I like it because I'm not constantly posting on social media. I haven't got a load of VAs doing it for me. I can get my answers really quickly. I can spend a bit of money, but that's business. I'm used to that. And it's allowing us to use video so much more now. And then I can build on my audiences. So even if this ad doesn't work, if it just doesn't resonate and I'm not getting all the right, what we call KPIs, it's fine because I'm still building an audience. I know certain percentage of people are going to watch 25% of that video, and it's in my audience now. My other angles may work better. So in a nutshell, unless you're somebody who, you know, really wants to invest a lot in VAs and organic engagement, I know ads are the way to go. So those are the 7 things I'd be doing in 2020. Honing in your niche, your message, making sure your offers are specific and bang on. Don't get hung up on all these funnels. Yes, I've got a funnel, but you know, we can look at our low hanging fruit. Look at a 90-day plan, and I don't mean just an airy fairy one. Look at specifics, get an Excel spreadsheet, work out exactly how you're going to do it, how many messages you have to send to get that result. Design upsells and downsells. And I work mainly with high ticket clients. So I will suggest go for a high ticket offer and learn to close on the phone. Use organic, most of us. I'm not saying all of you, some of you may also be awesome at organic, but most of us, we're struggling with it in engagement organically. And that's just the way Facebook wants it to be now. I quicken it up with budget ads, and I'd also put video and video marketing in your mix. You learn the tools to use. They don't have to be fancy. You can use your phone, but there are certain tools and certain things you can do on your videos, how to construct them, how to grab attention at the start, what to say, how to get a call to action, all the right framing. So that's the things I'll be doing in 2022, and I'm encouraging all my clients to do. Okay, so any questions? I've gone on a long time. Nobody's interrupted me. I get carried away.
I was going to ask the Facebook ads. I responded to a couple of those with other coaches over the last couple of years, and I presume they were paid ads, and I thought they were fantastic. That's the way I want to go. So I presume when you do the paid ads, they're reaching a huge audience that just aren't the 300 people I have, and most of them are with TCM.
Yeah. So with ads, you can reach however big audience you want to. I mean, there is a limit. I like to set my audiences around anywhere between 2 to 3 million within my audiences.
That's massive.
You need a large audience though, because if you set it too small, Facebook doesn't actually show it to everybody. It chooses pockets again. It chooses pockets. So you have to have a large audience. If you've only got an audience of 1,000, you'll find your ad will stop working very, very quickly. And it'll only choose maybe a certain percentage to show it to. And then if they haven't engaged, it'll just fall off a cliff. So you do need to, I mean, I set mine in there's the big 5 really: United States, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, UK, all in one ad set.
Okay.
But yeah,
it's the way to go really, because I have 340 people now on Facebook. I can't sell to those people.